But when I interacted with Chat GPT for the first time, I spent almost 6 hours on it.
In a row.
And I was writing love poems for my wife. I mean, I was creating...
Are you serious?
Oh, yeah. Because...
Do you think that human English teacher are gonna die out eventually if you don't use that kind of AI tools? And
I think
they're gonna suffer.
I think
in a way.
I think if they don't change their business and their approach, I think yes, they will suffer.
Oh yeah.
I think the key is going to be.
여러분 안녕하십니까, 갓슨쌤입니다. 오늘은 제가 굉장히 귀한 손님 한 분을 모셨습니다. 이분 모시기가 참 힘든데 약간 개인적인 친분을 끌어당겼습니다. 우리 먼저 시작하기 전에 우리 이분이 한국말을 조금 하시거든요. 그래서 한국말로 인사 먼저 드리겠답니다. 우리 트로이 멀론 씨, 예, 한국말로 인사 한번 우리 구독자들에게
네.
한국말 인사 한번 해주시기 바랍니다.
네, 만나서 반갑습니다. 저는 트로이 멀론입니다.
예.
20년 동안 미국 실리콘밸리에서 일했거든요.
예.
4가지 유니콘에서 일했습니다.
4가지 유니콘, 예.
글로벌 정 책임자였어요.
제가 이제 이분에 대해서 조금 더 설명을 해드리자면 미국에서 undergraduate 학부 과정은 한국어를 전공했고요. 원래 지금 이제 한국말을 많이 잃어버리긴 했는데 예, 브리감정대학교에 경영학 석사를 했고요. 그리고 실리콘밸리에서 20년 동안 생존하고 살아남았습니다. 여러분 이름만 들어도 이제 유명한 Evernote, Weebly, is that how to say like
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
한국에서 음흠해요.
And Drata, 굉장히 잘 나가는 유니콘 회사 있지 않습니까? 스타트업으로 성공해서 굉장히 많은 매출을 올리고 있는 유명한 테크 컴퍼니들, 이곳에서 바이스 프레지던트, 부사장도 하고 유럽 and Latin America 그리고 그 동아시아 지역의 여러 나라들을 이런 테크 컴퍼니들이 전 세계로 뻗어나갈 수 있도록 그 글로벌하게 만들 수 있도록 하는 그야말로 이제 genius of globalization. Bring the company to the world, right? 솔직히 말해서 이때까지 그 회사들 위해서 열심히 일하고 좋은 일을 많이 했지만 마침내 이분이 이제 자기만의 회사를 설립을 했습니다. 그 이름이 이제 The Relevant라고 하는 회사인데 제가 링크 달아놓을 테니까 여러분 들어가셔서 관심 있으면 보시고 오늘 그 Relevant라고 하는 회사가 어떤 회사인지 설명도 조금 듣겠습니다. 우리 인터뷰를 제가 영어가 조금 maybe my English is just a bit better than your Korean, I guess.
I think 조금
쥐꼬리만큼만 제가 영어가 쥐꼬리만큼 조금 우리 이분 한국말보다 좀 낫기 때문에 we're gonna do the most part in English.
Yes.
And maybe pop some Korean jargons words.
편할 거예요.
Yeah, here and there, and then
yes.
we want to have like a deeper conversation in English. So without any further ado, let's jump right on the subject we'd like to talk about today. Recently I think it's one of the hardest subjects. Big capital letter A and I, artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And specifically, Open AI, which was purchased by the Microsoft quite a bit ago, and they came up with the Chat GPT, whatever. Yeah. I kind of used the beta version of it, but I didn't want to pay the money yet. Yeah. The fourth one came up.
Yeah.
I heard it's really good, amazing. How good is it? What is your take on it?
Yeah.
a lot of things to talk about it. Huh?
There's a lot of talk about it, and I think the talk is justified. Yeah, it's justified talk. Because I came into the tech industry right when the internet was first becoming a thing.
Maybe back in early 1990s.
Early 1990s. Yeah. And it was an era where most companies said, I don't think I need a website. Right?
It started from military, right?
Yeah.
It started from military.
And then it went into 교육, like 대학교들 used it for communication.
Yeah. Started with the HTML language and stuff.
Yes.
Went on to Java.
And not many people thought that it was going to be a big thing, but I remember I was a 대학생 at the time, and I saw it and I said, oh, this is going to change everything.
It was shocking to me also.
It was amazing.
Sending letter electronically.
Right. Small things back then, but they were magical. And whenever you see magical feeling technology, it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Right?
It's getting into your life and you kind of feel something. Oh, this is big.
This is different. This is different.
Gosh,
This is So I think when I look at Chat GPT, my initial reaction was, this is it. We've arrived.
Okay.
Here it is.
Yeah.
Because everyone's been talking about AI for a long time, but there's never been a good user interface and never a good way to interact with it.
You had a chatbot, a little bit.
You
simple.
had to be an engineer. You had to be, you had chatbots.
Chatbots.
Chatbots were very
choppy and
formulaic.
That's right.
But when I interacted with ChatGPT for the first time, I spent almost 6 hours on it.
In a row.
And
Okay.
I was writing love poems for my wife. I mean, I was creating.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, because
I did actually a couple hours for beta version.
Yeah.
I let my kids like do some math equations and
Yeah,
stuff. And
yeah.
came up with the answer, but some part of like wrong and stuff.
I did mainly writing. Mainly writing is what I did. And if you think about the creative endeavor of writing, for humans, sometimes just starting is the hardest part. The blank page is the nemesis. It's the enemy.
Oh yeah.
To a human writer, right? It gives you the first variant, the first ideas. Good idea. I'm going to take that and then as the human kind of go that direction, right? So I think
okay.
it helps us more than hurts us.
Oh, okay. That's what it
Is how I feel about it. Yeah.
I thought it was a kind of a jaw-dropping experience, like you know,
Yeah.
talking back and forth, you know, in written words, but actually some other people using other tools, like actually talking back and
Yes,
forth.
yes.
I don't know how to work though.
And that's some of what we are building at Relevant. What we do at Relevant is we help startups mainly across the world, but a lot in Korea, figure out how to build the skills they need to go global, right? So we think it's a combination of language, culture, and psychology. We need all of those together. The language is not sufficient, but it's necessary. And then understanding the culture is very important to do business. And then especially when you're selling things, understanding psychology of the buyer is very important. So we do all of that, but of course language is really important. And I think what we're doing is exactly what you're talking about, creating an audible, so a voice-driven interface so that we can teach an executive or a CEO of a 창업자 of a startup how to speak to a venture capitalist in IR to raise money, but then they can practice with personas that we create of venture capitalists in Chat GPT. Then they can
Do you
tail
have it right now? Like
we have
been working on it? Or?
It's not released publicly, but we are working on it, and it is amazing.
There's some beta version of it.
Yes,
Okay.
it's amazing. Yeah.
You know, like, can you imagine, like, maybe the Chat GPT, whatever, the artificial intelligence is going further and further, maybe embedded into some kind of like human, like
Form.
robot.
Yeah.
Just like, you know, one of the robots from Boston Dynamics, you know, now like Hyundai company now has it right now, but
Yeah.
it'll be creepy actually.
Well, hey-
sitting right next to you, teaching you and talking back and forth using AI that, you know, the brain.
Yeah.
It would be crazy.
So here is where it's going, which is amazing and scary at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
It's everything together, which was the internet at the beginning. Like, is everyone going to lose our jobs? You know,
That's what I was thinking as a like human English teacher.
Yes.
Teaching kids and stuff. But there's, you know, like AI came along and I don't know, like I thought it was like talking to a huge, gigantic brain.
Yeah.
Collective brain. Just like one of the scenes from Neo is talking to the creator of
Yeah.
Matrix.
Right.
It's like
Right.
huge, you know, sea urchin looking kind of thing. It was kind of scary though. But
Yeah.
But you kind of like, you know, on the side of it, like we don't really have to worry about it. We can
Yeah.
use it in a better way.
I think there will be problems, as there always is with new technologies. The internet has created a lot of problems with social media
That's
and all of
right.
that, right?
Yeah.
But
some side effects.
one thing that we're going to see, I think before we see physical robots using ChatGPT to interact, I think first what we're going to see is digital avatars that you can create. So literally with a few videos of you as this character,
Okay.
I can make you digitally.
Okay.
And then I can also, what they can do with AI is map your voice. So
map your
it
voice.
sounds like you and it looks like you. And now you are having a conversation with your student 연습하러.
You know, what is your opinion on that VR and AR thingy?
Yeah.
It's not there yet?
I don't think it's I don't think it's there yet. I think it's going to take a few more years of the younger generation using it for gaming.
Okay.
And then I think it's going to bridge from
Go viral.
gaming over
Uh-huh.
to everything else. Not there yet. And let me tell you why we're not there yet. So with Chat GPT, just looking at the reaction when people interact with it, it's there.
I know.
That's the magical, it's magic.
It's real. People
Yeah.
are talking about like they.
But you
kinda
don't
loving
see
it.
the same thing with virtual, like
Not
people
really.
don't say, people are interested in it for a little bit, but then it passes.
Gadgets are very pricey
Yes.
and inconvenient.
It's inconvenient.
It's kind of isolated from the reality and coming out of it and go back to your life. Very
Now,
uncomfortable.
and then you contrast that with Chat GPT. I could have my phone. I could be on vacation like I am now.
Okay.
I could be on a boat fishing in Busan like I will tomorrow
That's
with
right.
you.
Yeah.
But I could literally be out in a boat fishing and I could have my earbuds in and my phone and I could be practicing for an interview. I could be practicing talking with a venture capitalist for investment. I could be practicing selling my product to a customer. All of that.
Using all the avatars.
And it's convenient.
Okay.
Using all the avatars that we create.
You don't have to be distracted by like visual parts and
Yeah.
just kind of listen to it and talk about it.
And just
like, practice
interact.
it,
Yeah.
interact with it.
And I think mostly for a lot of companies that are going international now, mostly it's done through Zoom calls, right? So being good on video is important. So we actually, that's one of the things we teach also as a skill.
Okay.
How do you do video well so that when you talk with a customer, when you talk with a venture capitalist, they remember you?
Yeah.
Ooh, that guy was impressive, right? We it's all a competition. So we need to be as impressive as possible so
Okay.
people remember who we are, what we do, why they should talk with us again, right? So I think that being able to practice is one of the major gaps that we have today with language. Most Koreans, and you know this very well, most Koreans are essentially fluent in the written word.
In their heads. Too.
In their heads. But when it comes to 대화, 대화 is always difficult. That's why I used to speak Korean much better,
Yeah.
but I haven't spoken in many, many years.
We need some kind of tools, right?
So I 연습 안 해.
But you know what? These days, a lot of companies, startup companies, is they're coming up with some really nice application using the Chat GPT, whatever.
Yeah.
But what do you think about this really competitive market? What is your niche market? The relevant?
Yeah,
Kinda
that's a good
looking
question.
for some niche market, and
Yeah.
they're very competitive. What is different from all those others?
Yeah, I would say in a word, it's the focus that we bring to a very specific user, which is
Like what?
Which is a startup executive.
Oh, okay.
They-
More committed people.
Yes, very very committed. But again, we don't want to teach you how to order pizza in New York. That's
Okay.
what a lot of these different ones focus on. How can you order? How can you ask for the bathroom? They never seem to get to a level that makes
Okay.
sense for an executive who wants to go to Silicon Valley or wants to go to Japan and do
Okay.
business
So
in English.
These
right?
these people want to make like business out of it. They want to
Yeah.
survive in their own work.
Yeah.
But they needed some kind of English and some kind of like a tutorial.
Yes.
By experts like you,
Yeah.
who survived in Silicon Valley more than 20 years, and
Right,
so
right.
giving us some kind of strategies and
Yeah,
how
so
to
it's
survive in the United
strategies are important.
States, go global, and
We're not teaching just language.
Okay.
We're teaching,
more than language,
yeah, it's what are the playbooks in order to go global,
like a tech
the
tree.
strategies, all those things, and then talking about all that in English and practicing what you need to be able to say and understand in order to have a partnership discussion or a sales discussion, etc.
Do you pull some strings for those people, connecting? People?
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes,
you do
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Wow, this would be really beneficial for them then.
Yeah,
Wow,
it's a good program. We're working with some of the best startups in Korea right now.
Like what?
Like Typed, we're working with written.
Typed, written.
Written is an AI, generative AI startup.
They're using a
Yeah.
ChatGPT then.
And they're using a few different language models on the
language
back end.
model, okay.
And they're creating the front end for new markets. And we're taking them
okay.
into Japan right now. Because they're launching the equivalent of ChatGPT in Japan. And then they'll go to other markets as other language models come out. We're working with a company called Allo, which is actually in Silicon Valley now. And, we're helping them with customer acquisition. So getting new customers in the US.
Okay.
those kind of things.
Do you think like human English teacher are gonna die out eventually if you don't use that kind of AI tools? And
I think
they're gonna suffer.
I think
in a way.
I think if they don't change their business and their approach, I think yes, they will suffer.
Oh yeah.
I think the key is going to be. I like to think of AI as augmented intelligence, not artificial intelligence, but it augments the human.
Humans, okay, helping great.
Exactly. So if you could magically clone a few of you as an English teacher for Yunsup, right? You can do that now.
Yeah, it's not actually, like physically, biologically, anything like
that. But
digitally.
But conversationally.
Yeah, conversational.
Now. Yeah. So you could come up with the lesson plan and then have them follow that with Chat GPT and Yunsup. Then they come back to you for question. Okay. How can I do this better? Because Chat GPT doesn't really do that. Yeah. That's more for the human. Yeah, that's so right. I think you become more the higher level 선생님, right?
Combine things. And,
exactly.
Get some big help from Chat GPT and maybe we're finding another niche market. Yeah. Like on our own, maybe creating totally new, brand new business you never heard of.
Right.
Kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah. Even in every different kind of genres.
Yes. I think niche markets are the key.
Yeah. Okay.
Finding niche markets and then not many people know this, but you actually can train Chat GPT to do certain things in a certain way. Yeah. And what we're doing is we're training the model to generate characters that our students can talk.
That's right.
Which is amazing, yeah. But ChatGPT alone doesn't do that. So we're adding a layer of value, which are certain characters that you will be talking with in the international marketplace.
So you think like humans are still on top of it? We're kind of handling it.
I think so.
It's under control right now.
I think so.
I think maybe some other ethical problems if we come up with some kind of rules or regulations kind of to control those kind of
ethical problems will. I think they will emerge very soon.
Very soon. Like what?
I can't, it's so interesting because it's kind of like when the internet first came out. Did you see social media?
Oh, yeah.
Nobody saw social media, right?
Connected with some other people in the
the
other side of the world.
Right. I think there's things we can't even see yet or understand yet that will happen that we're going to be like, oh, we didn't intend that. Like unintended consequences, right?
Okay.
So I think that's going to be happening. And
의도하지 않은 결과.
Yeah.
의도하지 않은 결과가 생겨.
Yeah. We need to be careful with that.
Yeah.
And that's where I think there needs to be some
side effects and stuff.
Regulation, from side effects that may happen. But Elon Musk and a number of other people are saying, hey, slow down. You can't slow down now.
Oh, you can't.
I don't think you can.
It's here.
It's out. Pandora's box.
Oh yeah,
it's
Pandora's
open.
box open.
You can't shut it.
Yeah.
It's open.
A lot of scholars keep talking about like we got to do something, but it's happening right now. Very scary, but we need to come up with better kind of rules, maybe helping others. Find another way.
Think about this. ChatGPT right now 4.0 can write code. It can create. So it's and I even heard, I don't know the details, but I even heard that a group that was doing some experiments gave it some money and let it trade in the stock market and on its own.
Oh my gosh.
So now you have an algorithm creating assets or growing assets and creating things that we had no idea.
Another database and stuff.
Yeah. So that's, I think, where the fear comes in of what is it going to do? If we let it free, is it a person? Does it have rights?
Yeah.
All of those questions
not
come
corporate.
up.
Yeah, you can't even name it.
You can't even name it. What is it, right?
What is it? Yeah. Something, totally new.
Yeah.
It's the novelty of it.
It's an exciting time. I've only seen this literally, mobile was a very interesting technology that changed a lot of things, but not to this degree. Mobile was magical for a moment. Mobile changed a lot, but I don't think it changed this deeply. What you're going to start seeing is you're going to see ChatGPT everywhere, embedded in everything.
Yeah, that's right. Augmented reality.
Do you know Notion?
I heard about it.
So Notion is a very popular organizational platform. It's in there. My to-do list, I use a to-do list for my company called Todoist.
To-do list.
IST, Todoist.
Todoist.
Yeah, and that has it in there. Chat GPT.
Chat GPT there.
So it augments what, you can create me a to-do list to launch my company in Japan.
Oh my God.
Those kind of things. But it's going to be everywhere. So we need to become smarter and learn how to ask Chat GPT the right questions.
It's happening like on YouTube, like so numerous people like coming up with like totally new ideas and using Chat GPT and especially like language learning and pretty much in everywhere, coding and it's amazing.
And here's the thing is it's going to be really hard to build something on Chat GPT and not just like the internet when it was new and the social media platforms. It was very hard to build something and have it last for a long time because typically the platform will overtake that functionality and roll it out. Yeah. So already I thought I was going to have to build the voice interface. ChatGPT last week just launched voice interface.
Voice interface, okay.
So that's check, done. So
they kind of planned it out like in advance and
but you don't know. You don't. So you might build a business of having a chat interface and then they launch it and your business is gone. So
that's the scary part.
That's the scary part. So where I think you're a little bit safe is finding niche markets like you said, like we are in businesses that want to go global. Helping them develop those skills and creating characters that are unique to us, to relevant. We'll have a number of characters that you can practice with.
Wow, that's something new.
So I think we have a little bit of a longevity with that.
Longevity, okay.
Hope, like unless they release characters that like duplicate our characters.
That'd be crazy, actually. Then you go run out of business then?
Well,
we're gonna find another way.
It's a startup, so you're always pivoting, right?
Oh yeah. Okay, 피해 다니면서.
Yeah.
Okay, that's wonderful. We don't have much time, but okay, to wrap it up, any last comments? Something you want to talk to like subscribers here and a lot of language learners out there, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say it's never been a better time for language learners.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
With the tools and things that are available, with a good program like you have, like we have, right? Like good programs and using the tools to augment your practice and progression in the language. I think it's never been a better time for language learners.
Yeah. Thank you for coming out here.
Yes, very good to be here.
너무 고맙습니다. 여러분 끝까지 잘 보시고 약간 질문 있으신 분 그랬으면 댓글로 남겨주시고 우리가 또 서로 소통할 수 있으면 좋겠습니다. 어쨌든 우리 모두 다 다음 시간까지 몸 건강히 안녕히 계시기 바랍니다. 바이바이.
바이바이.
오 나의 갓.